Welcome back to Eurofootball Daily, where once again it's time to run through the hottest gossip from the past 7 days in this week's edition of Euro Transfer Talk. Brighter times could be on the horizon for Barcelona, with Xavi coming in as a manager, although there is still something of an air of desperation around this current campaign as the Blaugrana look to salvage something from their poor start. As such, even whilst Ronald Koeman was still in charge, rumours were flying around about the type of player that would prove the perfect addition to the squad, and more often than not, that name was Raheen Sterling. The 26-year-old Englishman remains unsure of his place under Pep Guardiola, having started just 4 games combined in the Premier League and Champions League so far this campaign, with only 3 goal involvements to show for his time on the pitch. With Phil Foden and Jack Grealish having usurped him as Pep's preferred option, Sterling's time at the Etihad could be coming to an end. If it is, then City are prepared to get as much as possible from letting him go. And that's where Frenkie de Jong comes into the equation. The 24-year-old might be one of the few shining lights in the Catalan squad, but with the club's ongoing financial predicament, there's a belief that no one's spot in the squad is assured if the right offer comes in. And with City likely looking for that long-term replacement for the ageing Fernandinho, they could use their leverage to make a swap deal work. Naturally, the Dutch midfielder is one of only a handful of players that Barcelona see as essential to the club, but could find their hand forced if Manchester City do make a move that would not only see Sterling wind up in La Liga, but also net €20 million cash. But City aren't the only side interested in prizing the former Ajax prodigy away from the Camp Nou, with Bayern Munich also circling the player. However, it's unlikely that Barca will recoup the €86 million that they splashed on De Jong back in 2019, when the future was looking very different for the side, from either Bayern or City, and of course there's no doubt Xavi's preference would be to keep hold of De Jong, who has already racked up a century of appearances for the club. We want to hear from you though. What do you think Frenkie de Jong's future holds? Let us know in the comments below. There is news though coming out of Barcelona that Joan Laporta is willing to sanction 3 signings in January to help the incoming Xavi. If the club legend gets his way, and there's no reason to believe he won't, then one of those new names could well be Kingsley Coman. The winger has been consistently linked with a move away from Bayern Munich in recent years, despite scoring the winner in the 2020 Champions League final. This campaign, injury issues have plagued him again, as the 25-year-old, who has won a league title in every season he's played since becoming professional, has racked up less than 500 minutes across 11 appearances in all competitions. Having previously been linked with Liverpool, it seems apparent that the Bavarians are willing to let the Frenchman go, and with his contract expiring in 2023, of course the sooner they sell him, the more money they make, especially as a new deal doesn't seem forthcoming. However, it might not be plain sailing for the Blaugrana to get their man, as the World Cup winner is also being pursued by old rivals Real Madrid, according to Spanish outlet Defensa Central. Whilst Barca needs several dominoes to fall before they can make a move, Los Blancos don't, and could be willing to offer up to €35 million to secure his signature. From the Catalans' perspective, a move for Koeman is likely to depend on 24-year-old Ousmane Dembele's future at the Camp Nou, with Xavi reportedly happy to let the €135 million man walk on a free when his contract expires at the end of this season. Although if Koeman isn't a guarantee, it could force Barca's new man on the sidelines to reconsider the decision. So Barca fans, if it's a straight choice between Koeman and Dembele, who would you prefer? Get in the comments and tell us what you think. The final piece of Barcelona news this week is that they are eyeing up RB Salzburg forward Karim Adeyemi, who at just 19 years old is catching the attention of many a big European side. And whilst the belief was that sides would make a move for the German international next summer, the situation in northeast Spain is getting so desperate that the battle for his signature could be pushed forward 6 months. With Sergio Aguero, Martin Braithwaite, Ousmane Dembele and Ansu Fati all injured, the only fit attackers at the club's disposal are the underwhelming Luka de Jong and natural wide player Memphis Depay. And with names like Erling Haaland and Dusan Vlahovic courting far more attention than Adeyemi, who has 15 goals in domestic and continental action at the rate of 1 every 90 minutes, he could be a far more achievable target. PSG might be considering the youngster as a Kylian Mbappe replacement, and as ever RB Leipzig are in the frame to sign their sister club's star, but neither were poised to make a move so soon. What else might work in Barcelona's favour is the comparatively cheap price Salzburg might demand. The Austrian champion's record sale is just €30 million, having made that when Patson Daka was sold to Leicester during the summer. Other attacking talents include Sadio Mane, Dominik Szoboszlai and of course Haaland were let go for a touch over €20 million apiece. There's no reason to imagine Adeyemi will cost much more. Regardless of what happens, we're in for an interesting few months at Barcelona. As we often do on this show, we're switching from Barcelona to Real Madrid, who have 6 first-team players up for sale as we slowly approach the January window. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to guess a few of the names, but what you may not realise is that if they manage to get rid of all of them, then Los Blancos will be €108 million a year better off. 3 of the 6 names see their contracts expire this season: Gareth Bale, Isco and Marcelo. That's €62 million ready and waiting come July the 1st, 2022, on the assumption that they can't shift the trio in a couple of months' time. 33-year-old Marcelo, who has over 500 appearances and 22 honours with the club, is a different case. Whilst he's already revealed he will leave the Bernabeu at the end of the campaign, there's a possibility he could make an emotional return to Fluminense, the club he joined at the age of 13, and would ultimately sell him to the European giants in 2007 for just €6.5 million. And with just 110 minutes across all competitions, there's a possibility the left-back could push for a move in January ahead of a new season in Brazil. Eden Hazard is also on the list, but is unsurprisingly harder to shift. With a pay packet matching Bale's but still 2.5 years to go on his deal, Madrid are open to offers, but accept he may remain put. Plagued by injury, it appears their best hope for the Belgian is that he does start to contribute meaningfully, although he clearly hasn't looked value for money since his €115 million switch from Chelsea in 2019. The final 2 names are Luka Jovic and Vallejo, both of whom are tied down to Real Madrid until 2025. Jovic is said to have admirers, but the Serb is keen to fight for his place at the Bernabeu, a fight that so far has earned him just 95 minutes across 7 games in all competitions this campaign. And as for Vallejo, he may be the second lowest earner in the side, but is taking up a squad spot for someone who could prove far more useful to Carlo Ancelotti. As for what Real Madrid will go do with this spare €108 million a year, well, it's obvious really. Florentino Perez's main priorities right now are to sign Kylian Mbappe on that free transfer next summer, which we expect to be announced in January, and to tie down Vinicius Jr. long term too. The 21-year-old Brazilian might still have 4 years left on his deal, but is still earning what he agreed to when he signed as a 16-year-old. And I think it's fair to say he's earned a pay rise this campaign. Real Madrid fans though, we want to hear from you. Are there any other players your team needs to sell as soon as possible? Let us know in the comments below. We round off this episode with Monaco centre-back Benoit Badiashile, who despite being only 20 years old has already eclipsed a century of appearances for the Principality side. The France under-21 international is one of the country's brightest prospects in the position, so it comes as no surprise that he is attracting attention. And according to Calcio Mercato, it's Antonio Conte's Spurs that are looking to sign the youngster, as Daniel Levy looks to build the squad to the Italian specifications. None of their current defenders beyond the new signing Christian Romero inspire much confidence, with Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer underperforming, and Joe Rodon yet to get a real look in this campaign. With Conte already deploying a back 3 in his first Premier League fixture with the Lily Whites, it's definitely an area that needs improving rapidly. If he wants to make Badiashile part of the project in North London, he could cost upwards of €30 million, especially with 3 years still remaining on his contract. Yet another club that are set to have an exciting January transfer window. So that was this week's Euro Transfer Talk. What did you guys think of the rumours, and have we missed out any other rumours? If so, let me know down below. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, click on screen right now. And as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.